The 16th of May, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Thank you, Lou. Again, yeah, as Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shalom First here, Yeshivat Samanashi, here in Yerushalayim Care of Zoom. This is our first year in the morning. We're learning Pirkei Avos, Kol Ha'ava, Batel, the Da'aver, Batel Ha'ava, Kol Ha'ava, She'en, Dali B'Daver, Eino, Batel Ha'olam. And that's the relationship that the Maharal Prague is explaining here between Klal Yisrael and the Ron Sholem, the creator of the universe. He, the Ron Sholem, he was the king of all, the creator of everything that exists and everything that will exist and everything that did exist. He, the Ron Sholem himself, has a exclusive relationship with us, Klal Yisrael, the offspring of Avraham Avinu, and that is completely irrevocable. It's completely not dependent on anything. It is a open relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu under all circumstances, under all conditions, and that's what the Maharal is explaining here in the sixth parak, not sixth parak, rather in the sixth paragraph that we have here in our document. Yeah, we can. I guess we can begin again. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Mayor.
Good to see you.
Good morning, Roy.
On your document that you might have, or you see on your screen, we have paragraph number 6.
Okay, great.
So there's no limitation to in what? In
the bris between the Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael.
no, but I think you specified something, 2 things, didn't you?
Gavul vacates. There's no limit and there's no finality to it. Okay. Yeah, who would like to read? We'll start from the beginning of paragraph number 6, if we have as soon as we have a volunteer.
I volunteer.
Okay, let's start again. Paragraph 6. Go ahead, Lou.
Ruotza Lamar, that is to say, P. Tefadai Abris Shekarta Im Abraham Lo Sar. That certainly the covenant. What is this word, Shekarta?
That was the covenant which was agreed upon with Avram Avinu.
Agreed upon with Abraham. Lo Sar. What's Sar?
Is unchangeable.
Hare Lo Nasan Gavul the Kates Livris Hazeh. That behold, he did not give Gavul is a reason.
Yeah, Shahari actually means because, not behold. I don't think people talk that. You ever met that? You ever met anyone who said the word behold before in your life?
Never.
No. So
I hate that
why use it? So why are you using it?
Because the rabbis tell me that's the word.
Anyway. Well, I'm telling you, it means because. Shahari, because.
Okay, I like it.
There you go.
Because he did not. It was not given. Gavul is Gavul a reason?
No, Gavul is a literally like a border or a limitation.
And what's Kate's?
Kate's means a finality, an end.
So there's no limitation and no end to this covenant.
Right.
Rak Amar, only it says in Bereshis, Livris Olam, an eternal covenant.
Very good.
Va'achar shechein hu. What's shechein?
Well, Achish Shekenu, and since that this is so,
Since. Okay, and since that this is so, lema yeh batal habris bishvio dor echad o shtayim shechatav. Why would it be that there would be a nullification of this, of the bris, of the covenant, because of a later generation or two that sinned?
right, meaning since in essence there is no limit or end to the bris, so why should it be that the bris be changed because of one or two generations that may have sinned?
But I mean, isn't a bris an agreement with conditions? You do this, I do this.
Well, the bris is the relationship, but and sometimes you can have a relationship which is based on conditions. But in this case, the relationship between a Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael is not based on any condition.
But doesn't it say in the Torah conditions?
For example,
Shema says you do my commandments, and I'll give rain in your field.
right? But the giving of the rain, that's not the relationship. That's simply something that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to do, right? Based on our behavior, but the behavior doesn't change the relationship. You have a father and a son, so the son can be behaving this way or that way, but the relationship remains a relationship forever and ever, right? Whatever the son's going to do, even a ben Sarah Mora that the Torah itself talks about, still he's a son. The relationship is still that of a son to a father, regardless of what the son is doing.
Right.
Likewise, the relationship, the bris was made between a Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, that a Kadosh Baruch Hu we will be our God, and a Kadosh Baruch Hu is our God under all circumstances forever and ever, irregardless of how we're behaving. Now, it's definitely beneficial for us if we behave properly, so then we'll get the maximum benefits from that relationship. And if we're not going to behave properly, we'll suffer sometimes the maximum punishments because of that relationship. But the relationship is irregardless and not dependent upon our behavior.
Right. Okay. Haya batal bris mi zera Avraham shadayin lo noldo. That it will be that the covenant will be nullified from the offspring of Abraham that have not yet been born. Lechein Amar be Parshas
Atem Nitzavim, that's the Parshas Nitzavim.
Atem Nitzavim. And therefore it says in Parshas Atem Nitzavim, which is in Devarim,
Right.
Lo eschem levadechem anochi kores es habris hazos ki es asher yishanu peh v'gomer. And you will not alone, you will not be alone. I am kerasis is to make a bris. I am making a bris, this bris,
Correct.
because what is Yishanu?
The Yishanu Po, meaning v'lo eskem levadkem anochi koras es bris hazos. It's not just with you alone that I am making this covenant with. Ki asher Yishanu Po. Though for those who are there, if you want, you can take a look at the English. If you have your English Chumash there, take a look at the Devarim as it's brought down. Devarim Chav Tes Pasuk Yud Gimel and Yud Dalet.
Devarim Chof Tes 29.
Yes,
Gimel.
29.
29,
13.
verse 13, right now. Verse 13 and 14.
13.
Okay, the English says, not with you alone do I forge this covenant and this oath, but with whoever is here standing with us today before Hashem, our God, and with whoever is not here with us today. Okay. So,
Right. So go ahead, go ahead.
so he's quoting the whole thing because he says Gomer at the end.
Right.
Okay, so the covenant is made with everybody. And so Yishanu is to stand, I guess.
Well, you shun the word like who are remaining there. Yishanu Po. There are those who are Yishanu Po who are like remaining, who are existing here.
Right. Uma'asa eich efshar sheyikros bris im asher lo noldu adayin. What is this word ma'asa?
Ma'ata, and now and now how is it possible that there should be this making of this covenant with those who are not yet born yet?
Good. That's the question I have asked many times. But enam ba'olam, they're not in the world. Aval adavar barur, but it's a thing that is clear. Lefi shecharta bris. Since I forged the covenant im Abraham with Abraham mitzad shehu itichilas ha'oma biklal, from the perspective that it is it is initially what is this Haoma?
That it's initially that the bris that was forged with Avram from the aspect Avram was Techilas Ha'uma Bichlal. He was the beginning, the source Ha'uma of this nation. Bichlal.
He's the source of the nation, therefore the whole nation gets it.
Right.
V'chein b'Yisrael hu omer, and thus regarding Israel, it says in Devarim, she'ein chores habris imahem mitzad shehem partim. I'm not forging this bris with them alone. I'm sorry, with them.
Right. She'ein kores bris imohem mitzad shem pratim. It's not forging this bris with you because of the aspect that you are individuals. Ela rak mitzad ha'uma. It's because of the aspect of being a nation. Hainu shem Yisrael, that they were there as the Am Yisrael. It wasn't the individuals, right? The bris wasn't made specifically with each individual. It was made with the nation in general.
V'devar zeh kolel osam shehem ata lifanav. And this matter, what's kolel? Includes them, that they are now before him.
I mean, it included this making of the covenant, this bris that took place with Klal Yisrael and Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that included those who were there specifically at that time, but it wasn't limited to those who would come after them as well.
V'chein osam shenoladu achar kach, and also with those who were born afterwards.
Right.
Kulam shem oma Yisraelis alehem. That all of them have the name of the nation of Israel upon them. V'ma'achar shechein hu eich yitechein lomar ki partim asher kata'o yivatlu habris asher haya chal al ha'oma hakalalis. Okay, so umachar is tomorrow.
No, that's from and since uma'achar shekenu, and since that this is so.
Since
You're thinking machar without the aleph. Machar mem ches reish. Machar is tomorrow. Ma'achar is since shekenu. Since that this is so.
Since this is so, how is it? What's yitakein?
Possible. How is it possible, Lomer, to say?
How is it possible to say since hapartim? What's hapartim?
Hapratim, like the individuals.
since the individuals,
Or key is when. Key in this case would be when. Eki talking loma key pratim. How is it possible to say when a pratim, when the individuals?
that when the individuals sinned, they nullified the bris that was attached to the nation. Haklalis. What is haklalis?
That's the Ummah HaKlalis, Asher. How is it possible to suggest, to say that the individuals, when they will sin, that will nullify the bris which was made with the nation in general? Kadosh Baruch Hu made a bris with the nation of Klal Yisrael, not with the individuals specifically, but where he made a bris with the general nation of Klal Yisrael. So therefore, it's not possible to suggest that because of the individual behavior or the individual misbehavior of the individuals, that the bris that Hashem made with the nation should ever be changed or nullified because of the misbehavior of the various different individuals of the nation.
But don't we have a principle that if there aren't people, if there aren't Jewish people learning Torah, the world will cease to exist?
Right. That's right.
So that's based on individuals. You know, everybody
Right.
is learning Torah. So it's only a small portion of the Jewish people who are learning Torah.
That's right. There has to be some critical mass of enough Jewish people learning Torah, and then the world will have a right to exist. Now, it's true if the individuals cease to learn Torah, so that would bring an end to all of existence. All of existence would cease to exist, right? But that's not a aspect of the covenant of the bris. That's simply, technically speaking, you've got to have a plane pilot. You've got to have a pilot flying the plane. If the pilot falls asleep at the wheel of the plane's going to go into a nosedive, right? But that's not because of any nullification of the bris. That's just a technical aspect of what has to be done for the existence of the universe to continue. That for the existence of the universe to continue as it is, they have to have a critical mass of Torah being learned at any given moment, at any given time in the existence of the universe. If that will stop, right, that would simply put an end to the universe, not because there's an end to the bris, but simply because there's a lack of the necessary Torah that has to be learned to sustain the universe.
Lo mitzad asher haim elu beprat rak mitzad haklal bilvad. Not from the aspect of that they are individuals, only from the aspect of all of them alone.
Right. It's not mitzad that they are individuals. Rather, it's coming from the aspect of the general group by itself. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, I think so.
No, sorry, not from the from. So the bris is nullified through the general group, and not from the individual. Is that what we're saying?
No, the bris cannot be nullified because the bris was made with the general nation as a group, and therefore the bris is not dependent upon the individual behavior of the people of the nation, right? The bris was made with the nation, so therefore, right, even though you may have um, uh, individual
Sinning.
behaviors which are reasons in and of themselves that the bris should be nullified. The bris cannot be nullified because the bris wasn't made based on the individual behaviors. The bris was made on the national existence.
Mhm.
V'hit
Okay.
aver lecha. He Hashem Yisbarach Asher Lekach Yisrael Alav. What is this? He's Ba'er.
Yes, Be'er Lecha, I will explain to you.
Since Hashem, it is Hashem that took Yisrael to him. Lo haya hasava
Hasiba. Hasiba. Loya Hasiba.
hasiba bishvil tzikas Yisrael u ma'asehem. It is not. What is Siba?
Wasn't caused because of. Siba is a cause. It wasn't caused. The election of Klal Yisrael as a nation chosen by Hashem, that was not caused Bishvil Tzidkas Yisrael Umaseh. It wasn't caused because of the righteousness of the Jews and their behavior.
Rak bechira klalis. It was only a general choice. V'davar zeh mevoar bechachma mikomos. And this thing what is mivoar?
It was and this thing is explained in many places. It's explained in many places.
This thing is explained in many places. Uva'o al zeh divrei chachamim ha-manim bekama mikamos ulechein lo shayich lamar besor hasiba. And he comes to this. These words come. They're words of wisdom and faith in many places, and therefore it's not proper to say what is basur?
Yisur ha-misolve and Misur hasiba. And it's not shaykh to say Misur hasiba, and it's not shaykh, it's not possible to say with the removal of sur, the removal of the cause, with the removal of the cause, she tzidkas Yisrael, which would be the righteousness of the Jews.
Yisor hamisovev. That you would have a removal of the sovev. What is the sovev?
The sovev is the effect, is the consequence. The siba is the cause, and the saviv is the consequence or the result. You have the cause and the result, right?
Ah.
So therefore you cannot say with the removal of the cause, which would be theoretically the tzitzus, the righteousness of the Jews. If that would be removed, Yasur Masobi, you would remove the result, meaning the relationship or the bris between the Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. But since it's not dependent on that, the election of Klal Yisrael to be the chosen people for a Kadosh Baruch Hu, this is not based on our righteous acts. So therefore, you cannot say with the removal of that cause, we should remove the consequence of it.
Ma shelakach osam la'am alav. What is given to them, this nation?
That Kadosh Baruch Hu, meaning that which the Kadosh Baruch Hu had taken them to be his nation. Meaning the end result is that Hashem took us to be his nation. So that result was not based on any cause, i.e., tzitzus, the righteousness of Klal Yisrael. So therefore, that result that Klal Yisrael is the chosen nation for Kadosh Baruch Hu is not dependent on our righteousness.
Va'af shehaya gorem ma'asehem letov o l'ra she yosif hadivikus o yigra. Even if there is a complete actions for good or for evil, that adds what is devekus?
The Vegas is the joining of Klal Yisrael to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Devik is glue, right? Devik is glue. Davek is a connection, the connection. Therefore, right, that af shaya gorem hamaseim letoiva l'ra lahosif devekus or gora, even though that the causative factors of good behavior or bad behavior will increase the connection or reduce the connection between a Klal Yisrael and Kadosh Baruch Hu.
V'devar zeh b'vadai I lefi rov ha'maaseh. These words certainly are because of the majority of the deeds. Ki az Yosef o Yigra, because this adds or reduces.
Right, meaning there's a variance. The variance of the connection that a Kadosh Baruch Hu chooses to have with Klal Yisrael is in fact dependent on the quality of our behavior, whether it's going to be good behavior or bad behavior, that's only the variance of the connection between a Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, but the actual connection always remains irregardless of actual behavior.
Oh, what do you mean by the variance of the connection?
Well, I did. Like if you remember, I don't know. People still have radios. Do they still exist? Radios?
I think I remember what a radio is.
So, so if you know, so if you know, station 101 FM, right? Station 101 FM, right?
FM 101.
There you go. So, so if your radio is locked into station FM 101, right?
Right?
So that connection always exists, but you can vary the volume, right? You can vary the volume to be louder or lower, right?
I
So
see.
it's the same way. The connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Klal Yisrael, always exists, but the volume, the closeness of the relationship can vary depending on the quality of our behavior.
But the volume can never become zero.
Right. That's right.
Aval mikol makom etzem ha-bechira lo haya bishvil shum maaseh klal. But nevertheless, in essence, the choice is not because of anything, any deeds at all.
Right. That nevertheless the essential election of Klal Yisrael to be the chosen people, that is not dependent upon any behavior whatsoever. Okay. Let's see. I think we can continue on a few more minutes. Let's continue on to paragraph 8.
Okay. Turn the page. V'im amar ha'adam hare v'vadai kol pe'ula ba'olam. And if a person says, hare, because certainly all workers of the world.
No, of course, you sound like a communist.
Isn't poelim a worker?
That's but pu'ula means literally is an action. Pu'ula is an action, right? Right.
A worker is somebody who does actions.
That's right. That's right. Very good. Right. And ba'olam, like any action in the world, that means ve'im yomer adam. If a person will suggest and say, "Hi, bavadai kol pu'ula," all any worldly behavior, definitely any worldly behavior.
Umikol shechein al paulas Hashem Yisbarach. And how much more so any action of Hashem, he may be blessed. Tzarich Sava Siba Utachlis
Right.
Shayipul. It needs to it needs to cause a purpose, the purpose of the action.
Okay,
If Hashem does an action, then the purpose that he had for doing it is going to be actualized.
Yes, sort of. It's a little bit difficult. This is a very deep metaphysical concept that the morale is explaining over here. It says and again, this is a question which, based on what we've said up till now, that again the election of Klal Yisrael to be the chosen people for a Kodesh Baruch Hu is not dependent upon any of our behavior. The election of Klal Yisrael to be the chosen people was simply chosen because, in essence, we were Klal Yisrael, right? Irregardless of our behavior, and irregardless of the righteousness of Avram Avinu. So now, if a person's going to question this concept, and because he's going to say to you the following metaphysical preposition, that everything that happens in the world, and even more so, anything that comes from a Kadosh Baruch Hu, must have a cause and a purpose that it should be done. Meaning, for anything to occur in this world, there must be a cause and a purpose for it to be done. Okay?
Right.
So that's the beginning of the question. The person's going to come to you and say, based on everything we've been saying now, I'm going to ask you the following question. You've told me that the election of Klal Yisrael to be the chosen people for a Kadosh Baruch Hu is not dependent upon any behavior of theirs or any cause of theirs that they, because of their righteousness or the righteousness of their great forefather Avram Avinu. But I'm going to ask you a question. You know very well that for anything to happen in this world, there must be some siba, there must be some cause for it to happen, and there must be some purpose for it to happen. So you're telling me that Klal Yisrael was elected without any cause, so that violates a metaphysical principle.
Ah, very good. That kind of gets that was it niggling in the back of my mind.
Okay. So that's what the question that the morale is going to be posing to us, and he's going to answer this up. But I don't think we have time to see the whole. It's now, I think, a good point to stop. We'll restart again with the beginning here in paragraph 8 tomorrow, just to rephrase and reframe the question, so we can focus in therefore on how we're going to answer this question, because the question is a very good question. You're telling me that there's no reason whatsoever why Kadosh Baruch Hu picked Klal Yisrael to be his people. But I'm going to tell you that we know there's a principle that nothing can happen in this world without some reason for it to happen.
Right.
So we need to so what was the basis of Klal Yisrael's being elected the chosen people? That's going to be in essence the beginning of a new section here in this essay of the Maharal. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll think about this till tomorrow, and then we'll hopefully come to some conclusions based on what the Maharal is going to be teaching us tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank
Right.
you.
Roy, you did very well.
Thank you.
Lou and Roy, I'll see you tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too. Be well.
Okay, we'll be back soon, Mr. Brewer. Did you get the email with the information for this next year and the Mr. Brewer? I think I sent one out yesterday.
Yes.
You'll check in your email. If not, I'll put it on the screen. Okay, very good.
Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, see you soon.
Okay.